This episode of Test Drive is brought to you by Elmec and their EV Duty Smart Home Charger.
Well folks, 2 years ago I featured the Kia Niro Electric and we really liked it. It's a very affordable, functional, and very well equipped little electric car. We did about 400 plus kilometers, fully electric, no stopping, nothing, stop to go, which is pretty good for an electric car. It's been 2 years since we featured it. Has my opinion changed on it? And also, what's new, what's different? Well, the mechanics of it haven't changed at all. You still get the same motor, same front wheel drive system, about the same range. But there has been a couple small changes, not too much. You really would have to look to see them because there was a teeny tiny facelift for the 2020 model year, and really the back taillights were restyled a little bit, and they say that the LED front lights were just updated ever so slightly. So parking this next to a 2019, you probably wouldn't be able to tell. But on the inside is where things got interesting. They added the 10.25-inch infotainment system that we featured on a number of Kia vehicles over the past year. So you got that last year. For this year, there really wasn't much. Pretty much they added the rear occupancy alert as standard, along with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, the remote start feature, which might be good and handy if you're using that, and then the updated navigation-based smart cruise control system, again, which we've seen before on some other Kia products this year. A couple other safety techs that they added was the highway driving assist system and the leading vehicle departure alert. So a couple small things for 2021. But the elephant in the room is the 2022s have already been announced. You can probably already get them in the United States. What's changing for that? Not much. You don't have to get too worried about it. Something like this will still work for you well. The new 2022s will get the new Kia badge, which we've seen on the Carnival, and the 10.25-inch infotainment system becomes standard across the board. So you don't have to go up to the SX Touring to get it, but this is still very well equipped with the way that it is. So we're gonna be going on the road. I wanna talk about kind of how the drive, ride, and feel is and everything else about it, and why you might be interested still in the Niro in 2021. All right, so we're on the road with the Kia Niro EV, and it's pretty familiar. I mean, we drove this, like I said, 2 years ago. Not much has changed, except for the roads here. These are terrible, but the idea is you're buying the Kia Niro EV because you need something that obviously is electric and comes pretty well equipped. Now, over the course of the production of this, Kia Canada has sort of changed the trim offerings a little bit to make it more appealing for Canadian buyers. We always have the top end trim though, so we always get the best idea of what the Niro has to offer. So if you're looking for a very competent electric car, MSRP around $55,000 Canadian. Here in Quebec, you would get $13,000 rebate, and that will change depending on where you live. But the idea is it's pretty affordable once you add all of that in, and you're getting a lot of good tech. You have single zone automatic climate control, but it works. Heated front and ventilated seats, heated steering wheel, navigation works very well, and the updated screen looks great. That's, again, the biggest change here, and it works out well. So I really do like it. I think if you're looking for a luxury oriented electric car, you're getting a lot with this, and I think it looks really good. Personally, I think this looks better than the Kona, and I don't know why so many people buy the Kona, because I think that this looks much better. But what can you do? I guess you can't buy taste. So what do I want to tell you about the Niro? As I said, nothing has really changed as far as the drive goes, so I would suggest going and taking a look at the video that we did on the 2019 to know absolutely everything, because one of the things that we did in that episode was to go pretty much non-stop to see how far the range could go, and I believe it was 407 kilometers before I gave up. I only had like 1 or 2% battery left, and we're not doing that today, but the idea is we're still getting about that 400 kilometer range depending on how you drive it, where you drive it, and what you're doing with it. And even coming to where I'm filming this right now, was driving for about an hour and drove about 44 kilometers, and it still says I have 378 kilometers of range left. So you get very good mileage, especially if you're in town. You're using that regen braking. That's kind of the idea of buying an electric car. Is better for in-town stuff, but for the most part, very comfortable in here. The one thing I do find, I was asked actually recently on a different but comparable Kia vehicle how I felt the seats were, and I do find that these aren't as comfortable as I would prefer. You know, obviously with a slightly bigger vehicle, it's going to be a little bit more comfortable for me, but I just feel I sit too high up. Like if I sit up straight, I'm pretty much touching the roof. So if I was sitting a little bit lower, I think I'd be happier, and I just find that these seats are a little too firm. So a little bit softer would have been nice, but for the most part it works. Back seat space, not ideal for a big guy like me, but as a family hauler, you got kids, you want to put them in the back, no problems whatsoever. And the great thing about this generation of electric cars, you have so much cargo space compared to sort of the previous generation stuff, which we're going to be touching on in a little while. But if you think back to the Ford Focus electric I did, because the way the batteries are placed on that car, there is a lot less trunk space. This thing is pretty much the same trunk space that you get on the regular Niro, so you're not losing out on anything. So there's a lot of good that comes with this vehicle. If you're looking for an electric car, you want something that I think looks really good, has all the features, all the bells and whistles, and excellent range for 2021, this is the way to go. I don't think you need to hold off for 2022. If you found one that you like I said, there's so few changes. The biggest change will obviously be the Kia badging, but if you're going for one of the lower trims, maybe you might want to hold off since you're getting some extra tech. As I mentioned, the screen is going to be bigger, standard on all trims, but with that, you also get the Harman Kardon system, Sirius XM, and navigation. So it's not just the bigger screen, it's everything that goes along with it, which is nice to have. But if you're going for the SX Touring like we are here, then it doesn't matter. You might as well get this, and I like it. This would definitely be my pick. If I were in the market for a brand new electric car, I just like everything about it, and it does so well. And again, why I keep saying it, but the Koreans are on top when it comes to cars, and they're showing us that they can take on the luxury segment, they can take on the electric segment, they can do it all and look good doing it. If you have any questions about this episode on the 2021 Kia Niro EV, please let me know in the comments below. I try to get back to everybody. Please leave a thumbs up if you liked the video, and consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already. Until next time, thanks for watching, and take care.